Hello and welcome to Virtualize Everything. In today's video tutorial, we're going to be taking a look at the steps required for installing Lubuntu, a lightweight distribution of Ubuntu on Proxmox. The first thing we're going to need to do is download ourselves a copy of Lubuntu, and we're going to do that on the Lubuntu page by clicking Downloads. From the downloads page, we have two options, a 24.04, which is the new LTS version of Ubuntu, and a 22.4, which is the old LTS version. We want to go ahead and use the new LTS version here. So we're going to go ahead and click right here where it says desktop 64-bit. Lubuntu is a desktop operating system. And we find it gives us a download window. What that means is that we can use that link as a direct link to set up Proxmox direct download feature, so we don't have to upload this from our client computer to our server later on. So we'll hit cancel, hover our mouse over the desktop 64, right click on it, copy link address. The terminologies on Windows and Linux might be a little bit different, but you will find options right clicking on a link that have the same meaning. We'll head back to our Proxmox web interface, select the drive we're going to store on. I'll be choosing storage today, but you're most likely going to want to use local. And then you're going to select ISO images. From the ISO images tab, we want to go ahead and select download from URL, and we'll paste that URL that we gathered from the website. Then we'll hit query URL, which will get us the file name of the file that's attached to the download link. And then we're going to choose a hash algorithm of SHA-256. If you don't have this window, you'll need to check the advanced box right here or right here. Then we can choose the SHA-256, go back to the Lubuntu website, and we'll see that we do have a note for the SHA-256 sum. We'll click on that, and it'll give us the output of the sum. Go ahead and copy the whole sum and paste the sum in right here. Then we can go ahead and hit download, and the download process will start. I'll be back with you when the download process is finished to show you the installation steps. Okay, so now that we've gotten task OK here on the download window, we know that everything has hashed correctly and fully downloaded. So let's go ahead and close that window out, and then we'll begin the process of creating a VM. So back here at the web interface, we're going to click Create VM, and we're going to give it a name. We'll call ours Lubuntu, and we're going to press Next. Then we're going to select our media. Yours will probably be in local. Mine is in storage, but remember to select your location first, where you downloaded it to if you have multiple different locations. Select your image, and you can hit Next. Everything here should be okay. I do like to go ahead and click QEMU guest agent here at this time. We will install it later if the operating system does require it to be installed. A lot of times the newer versions of Ubuntu now are coming pre-installed with QEMU guest agent right out of the box. We'll go ahead and press next for disks. 32 gigs. Well, 32 gigs will be fine for like experimenting with it, but you may want to up it to 100 or whatever works for your particular system and needs. I'm going to go ahead and put in 2048 for 2 terabytes. In my case, on this particular drive, I have it to work with, and I'm going to need it for my project. If you're doing this on an SSD, don't forget to click discard to help increase the lifespan of your SSD. Pressing next, we'll be asked to configure the number of CPUs. I'm going to go ahead and give mine 4 here. You only really need 2, but 4 is going to give us better performance for our particular end goal process here. So I'm selecting 4. And again, if you're in a cluster, you probably want to leave the default. I'm going to go ahead and select host, which will also give me a little bit more performance, but it may give me problems if I had been in a cluster and I had different CPU types and we tried to change this VM from one machine to another. Pressing next again, it's going to ask us to configure RAM. I'm going to give mine 4098, which is somewhere near 4 gigs or 4 gigs. I think it's 4096 actually, is 4 gigs. And then I'm going to press next. And for bridge, I don't need to configure anything here. But if you did have different network adapters configured, you may have to go in and change your bridge to one with the correct VLAN. But VMBR0 is your default that Proxmox installs with. Pressing next again will give us a show and ask us to confirm all of these settings. I'm pressing finished, and now Proxmox will make my VM container. So now that Proxmox has finished creating our VM, we can go ahead and do any custom configurations inside of the VM that we want to do. At this point, if we didn't have any custom configurations to apply, we could go ahead and start it and log into the console and begin working with it. I, however, do want to add a custom configuration for my graphics adapter. This isn't necessary for the sake of this tutorial if you wanted just a desktop operating system for some light use, but it will improve your performance, and I want the improved performance for some of my end goal tasks. So in order to do this, we're going to select our VM, which I've done already, and then we're going to select hardware. Inside of hardware, I'm going to apply a custom configurations for my graphics adapter. So I'm going to select display and press edit. Here I can select a number of different graphics card, and I'm going to select VirtGL GPU. What this is going to do is pass in a artificial fake GPU that's still CPU powered, but it's going to give you a little bit better performance with OpenGL video types than the standard default display adapter. Then I'm going to go ahead and click OK and fire up this VM for the first time and open up the console. With the console open, we want to install Ubuntu, so we're going to press enter. We want to use US English, so we'll leave that alone. And we only have one Ethernet connection, so we'll leave that alone. We're going to hit install Ubuntu instead of try, so we can install this in our VM. And now the standard style installer comes up, so let's work through the steps. It welcomes us, so we'll press next. We're in New York, so again, we'll press next. Keyboard is going to be US English with default, so we'll hit next. For customize, we can select full applications, normal applications, or a minimal install. I don't need full for what I'm doing, so I'm going to leave normal because I will need a web browser and a media player for my project, so we'll use normal. If you need full, go ahead and select that. And minimal, I really suggest you probably don't use because it's going to give you almost nothing and you're going to have to install everything from your choices. Additional options will be to download extra stuff. We don't want to do that. We don't need any drivers. VirtIO drivers are going to apply, and we don't need any third-party graphics drivers or anything else like that. So we'll skip over all of that and press next. We want to erase the entire disk, and we want to have a swap file with ext4, so I'll press next. It's going to ask us to configure our name, our username that we'd like to log in with. It's going to give us a default system name. You can change it if you want. I have no need to. And our password. It asks us if we want to use automatic login. I don't remember if automatic login works with Lubuntu or not. I have found that sometimes it doesn't, but I'm going to go ahead and check it regardless. Hitting next will give us a summary of everything that we configured, and then we press install, and we'll tell it to install now to start the installation process. I'll be back with you when this finishes to boot Lubuntu for the first time. Now that the installation process of Lubuntu is finished, it asks us to restart. Restart now is checked, so we'll go ahead and hit done. That'll start the reboot process. Sometimes we're asked to remove the media like we are now. We can go ahead and press enter because Proxmox will do that automatically for us. Now Lubuntu has booted up and it did automatically log us in. So the first thing I like to do before I start doing anything else is do an update. I'll take you through that process. But you can see that with adding that added graphics driver, we don't have that annoying mouse lag or anything else, and the operating system feels quite smooth to use. Going to System Tools and Qterminal, we're able to execute the commands to actually do this update. Of course, we will be using sudo, and we're going to use apt update and a sudo upgrade -y to install all updates. I hope you enjoyed this installation video. I'll be back with you when the updates are finished installing to show you how to use QEMU Guest Agent on this particular VM. Okay, so now that we're done doing all of the updates to Lubuntu, it's time to check and see if QEMU Guest Agent is working. We can start that process by heading to our Proxmox web interface and clicking on Summary. If QEMU Guest Agent was working, we would get an output here. Instead, we get QEMU Guest Agent or Guest Agent not running. Inside of Options, we can see that we've already enabled Guest Agent, and we did that through the creation of the VM. So what we need to do to get this up and running is actually to install QEMU Guest Agent on the VM. So let's head back to the console, and using the command line, let's enter sudo apt install QEMU-guest-agent, and we'll add our -y to the end and press enter. Give it our sudo password. Now, in order for QEMU Guest Agent to fully start working, we need to actually shut down the VM and restart it. If we simply do a restart, it won't work. So let's close out of terminal, head over to the command bar, hover over leave, and press shutdown, and enter yes. Now the VM is shut down, and heading to summary, we can see nothing is working. Back at the console, let's hit start now, and now Lubuntu is booting up. Once Lubuntu is fully booted up, we can go back to summary and check and see if we get an IP address output. If we get an IP address output, we know that QEMU Guest Agent is running, and we're ready to continue on with whatever projects we have planned for Lubuntu. Okay, with Lubuntu running, let's go check out and see if QEMU Guest Agent is working. Pressing on summary, we now get an IP address. So QEMU Guest Agent is running. With that, we're going to conclude our video tutorial of installing Lubuntu on Proxmox. I hope you enjoyed today's content, and you're now able to use Lubuntu for whatever project you want to use it for. As always, have a good night, and consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to help Virtualize Everything continue to grow. Have a good night.